Hey, what's up? You're watching Dillio T2K. You are now watching the only first look that matters when it comes to Maschine 1.8. Dillio's first look at Maschine 1.8. I'm just joking. Let's get right into it. Native Instruments today has released their free update 1.8. The new software that they've been talking about. They've been talking about on forums, on Facebook, in the traditional style of Native Instruments. They're not going to tell you when they're going to drop it. They're just going to drop it on you. Then, oh my God, right? So let's talk about the good things that came with this new 1.8 update. The first and biggest thing that has made really much of a difference, you could weigh it between Massive being free with the software now or the time stretching. Because I'm going to talk from good to bad, let's start with Massive. Because Massive, as we know, but at the same time I have suffered many a buffer underrun when I use more than one Native Instruments Massive plugin in Maschine. However, I work around that by doing a little bounce down and then I'm good to go. So I finally got the software installed on the computer and I started messing with it, and the first thing I did want to check out was actually the saturation tube whatever plugins. Because as we all know, everybody really wanted these before time stretching, everybody wanted these tube saturation plugins before colored pads, and everybody wanted these tube saturation tape plugins, inserts, whatever you want to call them, before we had time stretching. Which is funny to me because not too much earlier they released some plugins that kind of do the same thing, which you could also insert as a VST plugin within Maschine, which by the way you cannot use sidechain in yet. So there's more things we can now use in Maschine that we can't traditionally sidechain in Maschine. I come from a world where you can pretty much sidechain in anything in any direction you want. And the funny thing is about this software, you can get it for free and do it. I obviously have not experienced the benefit of the color pads like the majority of Native Instruments Maschine owners. However, this will all change October 1st when they finally drop out the new hardware, the new Maschine MK2 controller and the MK2 Micro, which I believe will have color pads, which will totally make you a better producer. So let's get right into it. Time stretch, right? Time stretch, time stretch, time stretch. Not to mention that it's offline time stretch, not online time stretch. Therefore, you have to go through a series of steps to hear the results from the different transitions and adjustments that you make to the sample. It's still a little archaic to me when you have to hit apply to every adjustment you make. Why couldn't they just make the software just do the adjustment that you make right then and there? If they couldn't do it in real time, could they just fake it and then make it process on its own as you change the parameter? I've got to admit, it was kind of reminiscent back from my FL Studio days when I used to time stretch different loops and samples and change the timing and length of it and pitch of it just like that. Without having to hit any buttons, I just turn the knob and the sample stretched right where I want it to go. In this instance in Maschine, you have to make your adjustments and then hit apply. And then you hear it, and if you don't like it, you have to tweak it again, then hit apply. It's almost like you have to give Maschine permission to do changes that you're already telling it to do, and it won't do it unless you hit apply, or on the controller, stretch. Oh, I don't like this, let me pitch it up, stretch. Why don't we just do this right when I turn the knob? And maybe they're like, hey, we'll make you feel better, let's give you some color pads so you don't really pay attention to that little detail. Now please don't get it twisted. This does not mean that Maschine is supposed to be a DAW. I know where everybody gets this opinion that I think it's supposed to be a DAW. No, that's not the case. Maschine should have things that everything else has. If I work for Native Instruments, obvious I'm not. Of course, you would probably type that on the comments below, so I'll say that for you. But if I was working with Maschine, I will make sure that this thing is capable of everything else on the market so that there is no comparison to my product. That's just me. That's just my opinion, which people for some reason get butthurt about and they type it on the comments. Just look below. So I will give them that it's cool to finally have time stretching. However, I do find having to push a button every time I make an adjustment annoying. When you apply a filter to a sound module on here and you hit the sample and you turn that knob and you change the sonic frequencies of that filter, you don't hit apply to hear the results, you just turn it and you hear it right there. I believe that you should have that same experience when you're time stretching and changing the pitch or whatever you want to do to your sample when you're editing that sample. I don't want to have to give it permission or ask for permission or all this stuff going in that process. I want to hear it immediately. Because right in the moment when you're trying to do something, you don't want to think about having to approve this or approve that. You just want it to work. Isn't that what we all like? So if I were to give time stretching a grade, I would probably give it a C. Because it is okay, but not quite where we should be at in the year 2012. So if you're a lucky person and you haven't bought Maschine yet and are interested in it, definitely go ahead and get it. It's getting to the point to where it's almost, to me, better than what I used to work with, but not quite yet, but I'm working around it. And I can't help but wonder what native instruments will include in the next update that we didn't ask for, because they still have yet to do a lot of things, but only time will tell. At the end of the day, I do find a new update definitely entertaining and a lot more fun to make music with, and if I had the MK2 controller, it would probably be a lot more colorful experience, and I feel like I'm making beat with Skittles. But I'm not quite there yet. I'm done talking. Go ahead and get Maschine. Post your comments below. I don't care. Be sure to tell me what your thoughts are about Native Instruments Maschine 1.8. Did you like it? You didn't like it? Is there some of the things you would like to see more? And we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe. Dillio T2K.